life new. You just spring up and go, well, it's a new day. Let's go get it.
No. You missed my question.
That's what keeps me
That's what
going,
keeps
you know?
No,
the
because,
energy that, you know.
because I was telling Adam that one of these days she needs to bring you on Home Affairs for you to share with us where we can find a fountain of youth.
I'll show you the map. I think I read that today somewhere.
You know, I mean, I see your pictures on Instagram and I'm like, man, this one is giving us pressure.
I guess it's all by God's grace.
Awesome. And you celebrated your birthday not long ago as well?
Yes,
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Mind telling us the number? Cough.
No.
But I need to say congratulations to you and the team at Charterhouse. You have been amazing for the past God knows how many years. How many years has it been?
Going on our 20th year.
20th year?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yes.
20 years. Man, you guys deserve some accolades. You deserve some accolades. Wow. 20 years.
That is from next year.
From next year. And do you know the number of events you have organized?
Oh, boy.
Are we inching towards like 5,000?
Some I mean, thereabouts.
Yeah, like 5,000 events.
Yes, thereabouts. I mean, if you can do an average of about maybe 50 a year.
50 a year?
Or probably even more. You know,
wow.
like 100 a year. Yeah.
Goodness.
How many? 20? Yeah.
Please do the math for us. I don't have a calculator here. I'm terrible with maths as well. Wow, that number of events.
Yes. Very much so.
But you have to execute all these events. They are very daunting tasks and all. Don't you get bored doing this over and over again for 20 good years?
Because every event is unique. It's unique, it's different, it has different things to achieve, and therefore it's a whole different challenge. So that's what makes it vibrant and interesting.
Wow. Well, I need to say good job to the team, and I'm sure everybody would love to be in your position, having run a business for 20 years and still be successful at it.
Yes. I was just thanking God. I mean, I was just thanking God and God. I mean, you've been amazing, you know, because we couldn't have come this far without you. And when you hear of, I mean, the current speed, I mean, the current situation happening in the finance sector.
Yes.
You know, you just thank God that, thank God that we have been able to last this long, and we pray for more strength.
So when you hear the plight of all these banks and their directors, I mean, from your point of view as a CEO, you have run a business from scratch. How do you feel about it? What do you think about it?
It's it really causes me to think deep and to realize the fact that we have a responsibility as leaders of business to make the right decisions, to sustain their businesses, because when our businesses prosper, we contribute to the GDP of the country, and Ghana is better for it. So it is a responsibility to make sure that we keep our businesses afloat.
How tough is it being a CEO in the events industry? This is totally different from the banking sector.
Yeah.
Yours is also a little unique area. How difficult is it? What makes it different?
I presume that the challenges we would face are probably what every entrepreneur would face, because the variables are the same. You have the human resources, you have your cash flow management, you have the various things you need to manage and all the balls you need to juggle to keep a business successful and afloat. So it would be the same principles, the same business management principles that would apply. It's just that every industry has its norms and its regulations and all of that. So you just need to abide by those. But it is basically the same tenets of running a business.
Yeah.
I mean, apply in our industry as in any other industry.
Let's go back to 20 years ago. I don't know how good your memory is. If it's as sharp as your fashion sense, then we're good. 20 years ago, starting a business from scratch. Tell us about the genesis.
Okay. How do I start? How do I start? Okay, let me start from my professional journey. Yeah. My first working experience in Ghana was in Joy FM. That's where I started.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. This is circa 23 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh my God! As
Joy
what?
FM. I joined Joy FM as sales executive.
Okay.
I actually came into. I wanted to be an on-air personality.
Oh, you wanted to?
Yes, I actually wanted
Be
to
a presenter or something of the
because
sort.
I like talking.
Uh-huh.
I liked asking questions. I liked interacting. Digging deep and all of that. So I really wanted to be an on-air personality. And then when I came in, Kwesi Chum asked Tommy and Anforson to take me to the studio and put me behind the microphones and just test me here and there. I don't know what they were testing for.
what did they ask you to do?
I read some announcements and read some program intros and stuff like that, and then they came back and said, "Nah,
Oh,
I
that's
don't
what I
think."
said.
Oh, can you imagine?
They bounced
They
you.
bounced me, Charlie.
Kwesi Chum and Tommy and
And of course,
Anforson
they
bounced you.
me. I wanted to be on air. They bounced me.
Oh!
But then Kwesi was interested in what else can you do, and I said, "Oh, what have you been doing before?" And I said, "Well, I was in the UK before, and I was working in sales. I used to work in tie rack. We used to sell ties as a sales assistant, and I also used to work in the Gap as a shop floor attendant. So I had some selling experience." So he goes, "Okay, I think we need somebody who can sell radio." So what's selling radio?
How do we sell
How do you
radio?
sell radio? So he gave me a book this thick and said, "Go home and read about it and come back the following day." So I went home, I didn't sleep, I read it the whole night and I got hooked. And that's when the back bit.
Wow.
So I was like, wow, I think it's an interesting concept. I think I can try it. I think I can give it a go. So I came back the following day. I said, "Take your book back. I think I'm ready."
Wow. Wow. What a story. Okay, but let me give you the chance one more time to try the radio thing. Yeah, so the microphone is yours. We're going to do another audition. This is not Tommy and Anforson. Start your own show. If it flies again, no, this one. No, don't worry. I won't talk to Kwesi Chum. This is not. So, ladies and gentlemen, now on the microphone is your favorite presenter, Theresa Ayuade.
You really got me. Let's carry on.
Dead L. In fact, stick to sales. Stick to sales.
Let me stick to what I do.
Okay, so how long did you do sales with Joy FM?
I worked in sales for I think 3 years, and then I moved I was moved to Kumasi when Love FM was starting.
Okay.
So I was actually I was sent to actually set up the marketing department.
Mm-hmm.
So I recruited the team, and we got the station running. I was there for about a year and a half, and so we established the station together with Nyama Family. So he was the general manager, and I was in charge of sales and marketing.
Wow.
And so we ran the station, and then I left him after 1.5 years to come back to Accra because I was getting married.
Okay, so that's why you left Kumasi.
Yes.
You had to come back and get married.
Yes.
Tell me about the experience with radio sales.
Then.
Yeah.
It was very interesting because radio had just been opened up. Private radio had just been opened up. I mean, from the government-owned radio stations like the GBCs, etc. So Joy FM was the pioneers then, and I think Joy FM had been operating for about 6 months before I joined.
Okay.
So it was pretty much really new and rough, and not as structured and as organized as it is now.
Yeah.
So you had to be just rough and ready to go.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was amazing. I mean, and the basically was nothing. It just gave you some transportation, like 10 cities or something, at the beginning of the week, and you had to go out there and prospect.
Wow.
So you had to hit town and walk the streets of Accra and walk into offices and knock the doors and say, "Hello, I'm from Joy FM, and I'd like to help you to have a great ideas on how we can help you to promote your goods and services."
What personal quality do you think made you excel in your role?
In my role, I think it was confidence. First of all, I had the confidence to walk up to anybody and talk. Two, I believed in what I was selling. I understood my product, and I was able to craft solutions for companies. Yeah, for clients. So if you told me what you're trying to achieve, what problems you had and what challenges you had and what you're trying to achieve, I was able to come back with it to the office and craft a proposal that would suit you and will deliver the results that you
Okay.
needed.
Now, I was going to talk about your marriage a bit later, but seeing as you left Kumasi to Accra because of marriage, we should talk about where you met your husband.
It was quite interesting. I was working at Joy FM, and a colleague of mine came to me. He was called Cyril Heyman. He came to me and said, there was this Nigerian company that was organizing an auto show, and he had to do a proposal for them. So, and I was good at writing proposals. So everybody would come to me, to write proposals for them, and I'll charge them for it. So he came to me and said, okay, so why don't you help me on this deal, and then whatever came out, the commission that came out of it, we would split. I said, sure, why not? So I had to go with him to meet the clients and to get the briefing. And so that's when we met. So he was actually a client.
No, dramatize the meeting. Dramatize the meeting. So I got there, and there came this fine black brother, this fine Nigerian brother with a Nigerian accent.
I got there, and he was sitting behind the desk. And those days there was this big desktop computers, really big ones.
He had one.
He had one in front of him. So I think I was sitting behind that, and Cyril was on the right. And then in the course of the conversation, I was like really talking and really, selling to him the package we had brought him. And he kept saying, "Can I see your face? Can you move this way?" I was like, "Why does he want to see my face? He just needs to hear what I have to say."
Yeah.
But then I moved, and he saw me, and then we just got talking, and he came and saw us all the way off to the car. And those days, I think his office was it Pyramid Towers on the Ring Road. So they didn't have elevators. It was like it had so many stairs. Came all the way down, to see us off at the car park, and we got talking further. It just turned out that he lived in the same area as I lived as well, which was New Achimota.
Oh boy, bread and butter.
So you see, so then, let me give you a lift home after work.
I see.
Kind of thing. So after work, you'd be packed out there waiting for me.
FM.
And Kwesi Chum holding meetings. That's when Kwesi Chum will call a meeting. Kwesi Chum will call a meeting, and I'll be sitting there looking at my watch. And I was like, oh gosh.
Meanwhile, Oga is packed outside, waiting.
And Kwesi would now be doing strategy and anyway. So basically that helped a lot, because then on the ride home, we'll stop at a hotel. This hotel at Tesano, Capital Court Hotel. Whenever I'm driving, I always look at that hotel.
What used to happen there?
We used to stop over and have like a dinner or drinks, and they had this really wicked chicken kebab, I remember so well. So that was the attraction. So on the way home, we'd stop there and have this chicken kebab and drinks by the poolside.
Moral of the story, make sure you pick her up from work and find chicken kebab. Find that chicken kebab. Very important. Interesting. And so that's how come you got close, and then you decided
got talking
to...
a lot. And then we still did the business as... the business transaction still went underway.
Okay.
And it was a very successful event. But up to now, Cyril never paid me my commission.
Oh.
He never paid me the commission.
Writing the proposal and going to do the presentation.
The deal, he never did.
But you got your payment in kind. Oh wow. Okay, so after spending time in Kumasi, you decided to come back to Accra, and then you got married.
Yes, because the relationship had developed, and I had left him in Accra and gone to Kumasi, and then I looked at the Kumasi market and I thought, okay, I had done what I could. As we established the department, and it was running and everything. The systems and processes were running and everything was, the sales were coming in and everything. So I thought it was time for me to come back.
So what, it meant that you had to quit with working with multimedia?
No, Kwesi was the best boss ever. So I mean, our welfare was like very of utmost concern to him. So I spoke to him that this is the situation. I needed to come back to Accra because we needed to get married, and in those days was doom saw and all of that, and it was a bit tedious, having to be out there and all of that and traveling across. So I said to him that I'm sure there's a role I can play in Accra. So he went back to talk. I think at that time it was Mauli Oklu was our boss.
Okay.
The marketing department was. So he spoke to him, and then a new role was created for me called promotions manager.
Right.
So I came from Kumasi as a Zab FM sales manager to
promotions manager of Joy FM.
So at Joy FM, I used to work with a team made up of Josephine Ofori and Eugenia Tichimenson.
Tichimenson, yeah.
So we were the ones running the promotions desk at Joy FM, and we did great and fantastic promotions like the Get Alive promotion, the trips to Disneyland, etc. And so that kind of got me into that space of organizing activities, because to organize, for example, a promotion like Get Alive promotion, which was a promotion that gave somebody a whole new life.
Right.
So the person had to spend time listening to Joy FM and took part in the quiz in the morning, and then and we had a series of callers calling, and then we did a knockoff, and the winner was declared, and the winner's prize was a brand new house, a car, fully fitted kitchen, furniture, fully furnished house basically, and a brand new car. So
that's a new life.
Yeah, a new life, was literally handed over to him. So in doing that, it was a lot of coordination. You had to go around, get all the partners on board, sell the concept to them, get all the partners on board, and run the whole activity. And so that's how I cut my teeth in organizing.
Okay.
In organizing and marketing and all of that. So
and at this point,
that was the foundation.
Yola was working in that other Nigerian company.
No, he had left the company then, and he had set up his advertising company called Multiple Concepts.
Multiple Concepts. Okay. So after working a bit with the promotions, you thought...
I decided to go back to university because I had taken time out of school after my A-levels. So I decided to enroll at University of Ghana, Legon. So I got enrolled in the psychology course. And so juggling that with work, full-time work, was quite a challenge. So I had gotten married, I was going to school full-time, and I was working full-time. It was too much to juggle. So I spoke to Kwesi Chum again that, okay, I think I'd like to take some time off, to finish my studies, and if after that I wanted to come back, I'll let you know. So I basically had to take time off to go back to school.
So where did Charterhouse come in?
So it was while I took the time off to go to school that obviously I was just going to school. So I then decided to join my husband, and he had already come up with this idea of the Ghana Music Awards. That was actually his idea.
Oh, it was his idea?
It was his idea, yeah, because he used to organize this TV program called... He used to produce a TV program called Agro. I'm sure you know that.
Yeah, Agro.
Agro.
Yeah. David
Donto at the time, yeah. So Agro was it's a very hugely popular TV game show that was traveling the whole length and breadth of Ghana, promoting Western Union. And on that program, we had artists performing, and that was like the main vehicle for the artists to really get into the hinterland and promote themselves. So during the performance breaks, I think he heard Ochiame Kwame and Lord Kenya, Achiame then,
yeah,
it was Achiame then,
yeah,
and Lord Kenya arguing, backstage that I'm better than you, I'm the best, when I come out, don't you see the fans I get, boys, chatting backstage. So he heard them, really going at it, and was like, well, why don't we, organize something that can, get the public determine who their favorite artist was. So he bounced it off me, and we're like, fantastic. Let's put together the Ghana Music Awards.
And so today we can say it's the biggest event in Ghana.
Yeah, so that's an idea like that, and because I had just left Joy FM, I jumped into it.
Yeah,
and then I ran it.
Run with it.
Run with it. Yeah.
With the mention of that, we need to have a bit on the certain conversation that's been going on about the fact that a Nigerian comes to Ghana to set up an award scheme for Ghana music industry, and back then I'm sure a lot of people thought it was unheard of, and some people actually suggest that that's actually the more reason why he decided to take a back seat and you front it. Is that the case? Did you hear some of these conversations?
Of course, at the beginning there was all of that because people didn't understand what we were about. And don't forget that before then there had been a lot of award schemes also, that had been taking place. We had the ECRAG and ACRAG and a number of them that had taken place. So we didn't really understand the vision we had behind what we were trying to do. We work together on the project. It's just that I'm the lead person on the project, so I run with it and I put all the things together. But it's not a one-man show.
Yeah.
It is a team that has always worked on it. But there was that sentiment, at the beginning. But at every stage, of the whole activity.
How did you deal with those sentiments?
we had to just bear. I mean, we had to be. I know. I remember spending a lot of time going around the various stakeholders in the industry and speaking to them and trying to. I mean, sell them the idea of what we were doing and what we were trying to do. I remember they kept saying, "Oh, this one is Agro Music Awards." I said, "No." I mean, the fact that we are the organizers of Agro doesn't mean that, I mean, it's that kind of event.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, a national level, top level, international quality, you know, and all of that. So we just knew that we had to just do the first one for them to see what we were talking about. And thankfully, with the support of GBC at that time and a whole lot of other collaborators who came together, we were able to have the first successful one. It was done live on TV. People saw what we went to do, and that's what set the ball rolling. So I think we've gotten over that now. Now it's definitely something for Ghana, and I mean, it's for Ghana's music industry.
And will I be right to say that the VGMAs is the biggest or one of the biggest products in your portfolio?
Definitely. It is one of the biggest, I mean, portfolios in our, products in our portfolio. Yeah, definitely, because it takes a huge chunk of our time. I mean, about 6 months a year we're working on this, because it happens in the first quarter of the year, but then the planning starts obviously the year before.
Yeah.
So from this month of August, we're going to start the planning for next year's event. And next year's the huge one is 20th anniversary.
The 20th anniversary.
Really, really huge.
Awesome. We're looking forward to it already. We
so
are
it is.
looking
but then
forward
aside
to
of
it.
that, we, you know, our portfolio at Charter House is divided into two. We have the public events, which are more of entertainment, and then we have the corporate events, the corporate business, which we offer our events management services to companies. So we do a lot of product launches, conferences, seminars, workshops, etc. So that occupies us for the other half of the year when we are not busy.
Okay, good. Now let's go through something right now. The best event you've organized.
Last year's Ghana Music Awards.
Last year's, not this year's.
Yes. Oh, this year's, sorry.
Oh, the one that Ebony won.
Yes, this year's.
Why that one?
Oh, because you know, we had a bit of a challenge last year. I think there was a problem. We had a power problem, so we couldn't start at the time we wanted to. But this year, we stepped it up and made sure that we crossed all the T's. Everything was double, triple, quadruple, you know, checked. And everything was on time and spot on. And I think this was the best. This year's was the best ever.
The toughest event you've organized?
Toughest. Let's see. The toughest will have to be probably an outdoor event that was done, I think, in Tamale. There was a streets commissioning.
Streets commissioning?
Yeah. No, not a street, sorry. There was a project. Yeah, it was a highway commissioning in Tamale in the north, somewhere with a Brazilian company. And the weather was, would set up and the wind would carry everything off. And I mean, the wind was just playing. It was crazy. And the president was coming. And everything was helter-skelter. I mean, it was crazy. And I think another difficult one was when we had to do an event at Cape Coast Castle. Was it Elmina Castle? Cape Coast. I think it was for British Council. It was marking the 100 years of slavery. And we had to move many materials to the castle to set up an event. And the scorching sun. It was so hot and so difficult a terrain to work in. By the time we came back, everybody was peeling. Everybody's skin was peeling, you know. So those are the conditions that we have to work in sometimes. But the job must get done.
The most memorable event you've worked on?
Wow, memorable. Wow. I wish I had. I wish I had planned I'd put all that together in my mind, because we've done so many events and they all have something special to offer. But I think one of the most memorable ones was the Shaggy concert.
Oh,
yeah.
Shaggy in Ghana.
Shaggy live in Ghana.
This was, I think, 2000.
Oh, that was
it 2004?
Years ago. I can't remember. We did it with, I think, Space Phone then. And oh my God, I mean, it was one of the biggest and hugest experiences in terms of live artists, live concerts, live performance by an artist. I mean, it was amazing. He was a superb artist, the band, performer, everything was just on point. People were on their feet throughout the whole night. And I would say it was like, it has been my best event experience, personally. But we've done lots of amazing stuff for our clients as well.
Mr. Bombastic, Joy 99.7 FM.
Fantastic lover. Shaggy. Mr. Lover Lover. Now Mr. Lover Lover. Girl. Mr. Lover Lover.
Oh dear, Shaggy in Ghana. Were you at the concert? Tell us about it. Well, she put that together. I know this one you'd you'd stay away from answering it, but I'll still ask anyway. The event you don't want to ever organize again.
Oh boy,
there are a couple of them, right? That's when you see the name of the event, you don't even want to remember.
I don't think there's any such event. No, I don't think so. I think there'll always be challenges. The joy in the whole situation is when you are able to overcome them and have something good at the end of the day. So I wouldn't say there's one I would never ever want to do again. No, not that bad.
Okay.
No, I haven't had that kind of bad experience.
That's
Of
good.
course, there are events that get rained off. You know, like we went to Tamale again.
Yeah.
again. you
Oh,
know,
Tamale again.
to do, I think, one of the Ghana Music Awards concerts. And after, everything was going over. It was popping, everybody was jamming, and heavens just opened.
And that was the
And
end of
that
the show.
was, that's crazy. So we had to, close down the show. And the following day, we went back to set up.
Oh.
And we had an even bigger crowd the
Totally
following
awesome.
night. And the artists were awesome. They all stayed on and came back to perform the following day as well. So it was great. But
Well, since we were talking about Charterhouse, let me just find out briefly. Has George Quay really left Charterhouse, Ghana?
George Quay has worked with us for so many years. He's worked with us for 12 years, and that's really great and awesome. And he has decided to move on to pursue other ventures.
Was the offer from Men's Gold too juicy for you guys to keep him?
We cannot.
Did you try to
We cannot
stop
begrudge his desire to want to do other things, because he has actually given us 12 years of his professional life, and we really appreciate that. So.
But did you try
Yeah,
to
happy.
hold?
But he will always be part of the family. Everybody who leaves Charterhouse is always part of the family. So we have one big wider network out there that we capitalize on, and we are always still part of the family.
So you're not sad that he's gone?
No, I'm not sad, because he will always be available to be part of the family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, good evening to you, George. How you doing? But let's get to meet you now. Share with us where you hail from.
Where am I from? I'm from Latte. Yes, I'm an Epiapim.
You're an Epiapim?
Yes.
Biponudu.
Yes. That's
So what's your maiden name?
Enieji.
Enieje.
Yes.
Ah.
So there is Ifwa Oparibia. Enieji.
Wow.
Yes.
There is a Oparibia Enieje.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
And did you grow up the mountain? Where did you grow up?
I
Share
grew
with
up.
us.
I grew up in Accra. Yeah, I'm an Accra.
Dada
baby.
Bakaka Umo.
I grew up in Accra. My dad, of blessed memory, was the director of commercial banking at Bank for Housing then, and my mom was a seamstress. And
I saw your mom. She turned 73 yesterday. Was it yesterday?
No, yesterday. No, a while back.
It was a while
Yeah,
back. Okay,
yeah, a
so
while back, I think,
slaying in her
June.
pictures.
Yeah. Yeah. So I grew up in a family of 7 kids, 7 children. So I was number 4.
Oh,
Yeah, so quite a large family.
very.
Yeah, and I went to Achimota School from Form 1 to Upper 6. So thoroughbred Accra.
That's right. That's. All. Would you say you had a privileged upbringing?
I would say so. Because of I would say so. But then it was good to a point, and then it went downhill.
What happened?
What happened was my father got caught up in the revolution. In those days there was this revolution. I think was it 89, in the year 89 or so. I think there was a revolution. No, he got caught up in the revolution era, where there was a lot of freezing of assets and firing of people. Like you woke up one day and you had been replaced.
Okay.
At work. So that's what happened to him. He woke up one day and was going to work, and they announced a new person on radio as a new director for commercial banking, and that was how he lost his job.
And everything turned
and
around.
everything just turned around.
How bad did it affect the family?
A lot of assets were frozen and a whole lot of things. So obviously the kind of lifestyle we were used to was curtailed, and everything just was just changed overnight. So at that point, just around that time, we were supposed to be going to school in the UK, so we had been sent to London to basically wait for our results so we could start going to university.
All 7 kids of
No, just myself.
Just you.
I'm talking about myself
Okay.
and my sister,
Okay.
the one just before me.
I know you have a brother, Kweku Nieje. Is it Kweku?
No.
Those are an Nieje or something?
No.
Okay.
I know there are a number of them around, but the one you're talking about is
It's not
my
yours.
brother. No, it's my
Okay.
brother, yeah.
Okay.
So basically, we went to to London, and we're waiting for the results to come, and then all this news came to us that happened. So basically, we're stranded in London, and we had to find our way. So these, sheltered children, were now on our own, and basically we had to just hustle our way, and that's when my eyes just opened to life, and I was like, okay,
Wow.
whatever it is I want to be in life is in my hands, So then there was basically that the financial support wasn't there anymore. So that's how I had to just work in London. I did all sorts of things, from working in snack joints and working at the train station and all sorts of things.
Which one didn't you like at all?
I didn't like the early morning, waking up in the cold winter, early morning, going to stand at the train station, 70 and coffee to travelers and, all of that. It was just quite a difficult period because my mates were entering University of Ghana, Legon, and I was stuck there, and the confusion of what to do and all of that, So it was quite a difficult time. And so I stayed there for a while, and then I decided that, let me just come back. Let me just come back home because, I've worked so hard. So I was there for about 3 years, and I've worked so hard here, and I feel that if I go back to Ghana and I work as hard as I'm working here, I'll make it because Ghana is my country. So, at that time, that was when everybody was coming, everybody was leaving, going abroad. Everybody was looking for visas to go abroad. That's when Reggie Stone sang his song about Sylvester. They used to bounce a lot, so it's like, oh gosh, if you are there, you should be lucky to be there. So why are you coming back,
Yeah.
But I was like, no, I think, my future really was in Ghana. So I just packed my bags and baggage and I just said, you know what, I'm coming home. When I called my parents to say, hello, I want to come back home. My mom said, Dema. She said, but I had faith because I had become a born again Christian and I was really full of faith and I felt that I think I can make it in my country. I can make it in my country. So I just packed up and came. When I came, I just decided that I don't want to stay at home, doing nothing. So let me just get out there, get to meet people. So I called up a friend and said, you know what, I'm in town. So what's there for me to do? He said, oh, I have a shop in Adabraka. If you don't mind coming to sit in it, no problem. I said, oh, no problem.
What shop?
It was the lighting store. Those they call a store. It's a store. So I wake up in the morning and go and sit in the store in Adabraka, and sell lights and fittings and things, to people. And I didn't have any problem with that because I knew that it was just a phase I had to go through.
The period that you had to go through tough times in London before even coming back, what did they teach you?
What did that period teach me?
Yes.
It taught me focus. It taught me that, okay, a situation has arisen that you didn't expect. What do I do? Okay, first of all, I need to survive. So I need to find a job. I need to, just do whatever I could to just keep 2 and 2 together. But I never lost sight or track of my bigger vision of myself and what I wanted to do myself and what I wanted to achieve in life. So I always saw those problems, those things as like challenges I was facing right now, and I needed to just muster the strength to go through them. But I needed to have a plan on how to get out of it.
Yeah.
So that's how I decided that, okay, you know what, I'm working in a shop. Of course, you do all the jobs and then you get to a certain level where you are now working in a shop because you have to build your profile to a certain level. Then you can now work on the high street. So I was working on Oxford Street, working in Tyrac, working in the Gap. I'm doing like 2 or 3 jobs a day, finishing one, running to the next one and all of that, So I decided that, what, let me just pack up and come back to Ghana and just find my way.
And
so when I came to Ghana, I didn't have any idea of what I was going to do. I just decided that, what, let me just come in, jump into the sea and then swim.
Take it cool, pass it your love, whoa, 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 'cause we love you. Bounce to a visa, nigga, please. Baby, not it. Hey, another Rockstone episode. I couldn't do more thing. Be episode 2. We are traveling that time. I say, we can't share more say. Dear Rockstone, that's the saying, yeah, Unia, was Safo man.
Yeah, bounce Visa Neya. Spending time with Mrs. Theresa Yode here on Joy 99.7 FM. Lexus, I've known Theresa for the past 20 years when the company I was working with, Smart Travel Club, she's a great woman. That's from Leila Pinso. All right, Leila, thank you very much. Hey, Lexus, I was at the Shaggy show. It was massive. Shaggy picked my Legon friend I came with out of the crowd up on the stage and sang to her. She ended up working with Chatterhouse. Oh, really? Who's that?
That was Anita Bell.
Oh, really? You sound a little disappointed that Shaggy, sang to your girl. Sorry, bro. I know how it feels. Okay, you can also send us a WhatsApp message on 0244340437. Jones Kofi says I should tell you you're an inspiration to the young ones coming up. Congratulations. Tess could not look into the face of the husband, then her client at the time. Wow, the chemistry is right. I'm sure he's referring to the meeting behind the computer. Oh dear, good times here on Joy 99.7 FM. Loving it, spending time with Theresa. So now from the store, selling lights and fittings and being an electrician.
Charlie, I did all of that, know. So it was from there that I just decided that I heard Joy FM on radio.
Yeah.
And then I just thought that, well, why don't I just go there and see what I could do with them? And then I worked in here. And then, of course, I had the opportunity to start with sales. But I can tell you it wasn't easy. Yeah?
I can
Because
imagine.
you gave me just this, 10 CDs for the week. And then you'd have to take transport and go all around town, knocking door to door, just trying to bring in the sales and trying to meet your target. And it was those days, when Christian meets you in the corridor, he just says, where's the money? I'm sure he still does that.
Yeah.
But it was great times. Working here, we had great colleagues and great relationships were developed. Right from working here. And that's why I built the foundation and the ethic to be able to start our own business.
Okay, so share with me, how is it like working with your husband?
I get asked that question all the time.
Or how is it? No, then let me change it. How is it like mixing business with pleasure?
It's okay. It's okay. I think it's more of having a common interest. So you share a lot of ideas. Bounce a lot of ideas in office, out of office, at home, and everywhere. So it's always sharing ideas and discussing problems and challenges and how to work around things. And so it's been really great. It can get a bit, abrasive sometimes, especially when. Because it's also very strong and very opinionated, trying to push his way, and I'm also trying to push my way. You can't get a bit of it, but I always find a way to just back off and let him just take the lead, and I then find my own way of getting what I want done as well.
Women
are really, we are good at that. We
make
you feel like you're winning.
I know.
And then,
before you realize you lost, and you don't know how. I see.
So I've just found a way to manage it.
Between the two of you, who's more romantic?
I'd say I am.
Is it?
I'll claim that.
So what's the most romantic thing you've done?
I wouldn't say.
I thought you were.
I wouldn't say. I'm not going to sprinkling flowers and not things like that. But I just insist on us. Really spending time together and marking the special occasions like the Valentines and the birthdays. I make an occasion of all those things, and he's like, "Oh gosh, this Valentine." But right from when he met me, I'm like, "That's a Valentine." you market pa, you know. So he rises up to the occasion.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's his part as well. So I think we are fair. We are kind of equally weighted.
Let me ask
now.
you a personal question. So if there's a heat at home in court, and you both get to work and you have to team up to probably win a deal, how easy is it for you to switch and vice versa?
Oh, I will switch because I understand clearly what work is. So work is work, and you know, I can put my emotions aside and deal with what is on the table. I'm very practical like that. So I would seldom let that interfere
Okay.
with the work that needs to get done. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, good stuff. Anne says, hi, Alexis. She's a formidable woman. Loved working with her. Godmother, Miss Malaika.
Oh, wow, Anne. No, long time.
Yes.
Wow.
And Eche in Hacho. Boshe says, ask her about Chatterhouse and Chatterwali's issues. How far? I thought.
I think it's been resolved.
Oh, it has
we've
now?
moved on. He's now been allowed to be part of the event.
Yeah.
So it's bridge under the water now.
Oh, okay. So now
Sorry, water under the bridge. Sorry.
you play his music in Chatterhouse and
I
party
want to
with
play
it.
when they're doing parties in the house, in the office. The plates. We don't have any issues.
Okay,
Water
okay.
under the bridge. We've moved on.
Many years of organizing events and making sure people's ideas come to life, and that's what she's committed her life to doing. Did you have childhood ambitions? Is this what you wanted to do? I'm sure probably when you were
I
much
didn't
younger.
even know something like this event existed. Actually, this industry existed. I mean,
Yeah.
when I was growing up, I wanted to be an economist,
Nice.
working with the World Bank. You know, that kind of portfolio. That's where I really wanted to be. So I really wanted to study economics and, you know, that was my...
That kind of businesswoman.
Technocrats, you know, maybe eventually become the Secretary General of the United Nations. You know, that was the trajectory then.
You sound like you've given up on that dream.
I'm not in that space now because obviously it's a career path.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not in that space now. But then I found the new love, which was my love for organizing and the joy of creating. The joy of creating, having an idea, nurturing it, working on it, and turning it and making it a reality. I found joy in that. So that's mine. That's what I embrace it fully, and it came naturally to me. A sociable person, a fun person. I'm creative, and that's the space in which I thrive very well. So, and then I studied psychology, which also had aspects of consumer buying behavior and all of that, and it all kind of worked in because it's all about understanding how people, understanding human behavior. You know, so you want to understand how people behave and what they want and what makes them tick. You're able to design, you know, to meet their needs. And
if there's one lesson life has taught you, what would it be?
It would be that that challenges will always come. Challenges will always come. So you must always brace yourself for them. And when they come, you must know that it's not the end of the world. And that you just need to find the strength to cope and deal with the situation. And you will come out of them. You will go through them. It's very difficult and challenging when you are in there, but you will resurface, and you will be able to swim and move on. I've also, one of the things I think that have really saved me and made me who I am is also the power of your choices.
The power of your choices.
The decisions that you make in life. Very important. Because at every point in time, at every crossroads in life, you'll be faced with making a decision. And you've just got to be able to make the right decisions through prayer, through counsels, through mentorship. Seeking advice from people who have traveled the journey before you. Never be shy or be afraid to ask for direction from somebody that you perceive is knowledgeable or has experience, and just weigh the decisions you take very carefully, and I think you'd be able to make the right decisions that can take you to the next level of your life, and always have a big picture.
Always have a big picture.
Have a big picture.
We're having a whole masterclass here.
Have a big picture because you must see that vision of who you want to be and the kind of life you want to lead, and just know that if I want to get there, these are the things I need to do to get there. So I need to work. So
always have a big picture. If there's one thing you take from today's conversation, that should be it. Always have a big picture. You can go ahead and tweet it and tag Mrs. Teresa Ayoade. Yes, she said it. Always have a big picture. Kobna Atabidu, my brother, says, hey, shout out to Tessa for me. Our paths crossed in my telco days. And that's Kobna from UPT. Araba says, Teresa was my neighbor in Abelinpe and we met in Achimoto school, but in different houses. Met her through her older sister who was my mate. I must admit that she is, simply put, a wonderful person. God bless all her dreams. And that's from Araba F. Yeah. Teresa is a gem. Shouts from OAA 89 year group. We love her. From Lydia. Old Achimortons.
OAA 89 year group. That's my year group.
Yes. So, I have a message from somebody very special. George Quay.
Okay.
Of Men's Gold. How does that sound?
So, you know, we
we
believe that we've actually contributed a lot to the industry through the manpower who have trained with us and passed through our offices and our business, you know. So we believe that we are doing the nation a service.
Awesome.
Yeah.
George says, bro, the woman in your studio isn't only one of the best bosses anyone could ever have. She's also a mother, a sister, and a very good friend. Her impeccable leadership skills, passion, attention to detail, and desire to see things to the very end are simply amazing. It's been a great honor learning from her and working with her and the rest of the Charterhouse team to deliver magic to our many audiences. She's a gem, and it's been a great honor serving under her leadership. God bless her, God bless the leadership and team and Charterhouse, and God bless the company. I couldn't have spent the 12 years of my life at a better place. It's been a great honor.
That's amazing. Thanks, George.
She was surreal.
Yeah.
And I know you're part of the Executive Women Network as well.
Yes.
What's the role? What's the idea?
Well, the Executive Women Network is a network of women business leaders, be it corporate or in enterprise. And our role is basically to inspire, empower, and support women,
Okay.
you know, to achieve their fullest potential.
So tell us, as we wrap up, just briefly, something for the women. Your final word.
Well, I'd say that the glass ceiling has been shattered. The opportunities are there for us as women to just reach out and be heard. So there's nothing holding us back. We just need to stretch forth and reach for the skies, and it should be ours. So every woman out there, just know that whatever you dream, whatever you desire, just put in the hard work, put in the effort, and you will achieve it.
Always.
Nothing stops us. Nothing stops us.
If she has, you can. Amazing. Teresa, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great
Thank
spending
you.
time with you, and we've learned a lot. You actually delivered a masterclass this evening on personality profile, and we are grateful.
Really, and
Yes.
and in all things that you do, you know, just give thanks to God. And my mantra is, whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might.
Whatever your hand,
Whatever your hands find to do
do it
it
with all your might.
and work hard. Play hard.
You love to play hard. I know.
have to play.
Were you in Turkey a few days ago?
Yes.
Oh, you play too hard.
Yes, it's good to rest the body and soul, you know, every now and then, you know. But
Good
then
stuff, good
let's
stuff.
just get back to the, you know.
Yeah.
Daily
Back to
grind.
the work and
Yeah,
grind.
back to
Thank
the
you very much,
grind.
Teresa. You inspire
Thank
us.
you.
And we're
Thank you for
grateful
having me.
that you spent time with us.
Thank you.
All right, so there you go. Amazing woman. There's a lovely smile on her face all the time. Mrs. Teresa Ayoade here on Joy 99.7 FM. Uncle Ken will be on your radio shortly. But at 8:20, we'll cross over to the Festival of Ideas event at Marriott Hotel to bring our listeners the keynote address to be delivered by Pastor Mensa Otabil. So that's going to come up at 8:20. We'll cross over to the Marriott Hotel for the Festival of Ideas event. Pastor Mensa Otabil will deliver the keynote address. But Uncle Ken will be live on your radio as well. Thanks a lot to my team, Adam Naite, Philip Nye, Abeku Sankofi. It's been Personality Profile on your Superstation. I'm Lexus Bill. Have a great evening. Kojo has the latest updates in news.
It's 8 o'clock from the Joy Newsroom. We have the latest news headlines. Now, the Tamale Teaching Hospital has called off its strike with immediate effect. They called off the strike following the intervention